Greg, we'll start off with you. Go ahead, unmute yourself and go ahead.
Hey, Javonte, thank you for joining us. Just curious, when you look back on last year, just what are your primary takeaways for you as an individual? Where did you excel, and where do you think you found some weaknesses that you need to improve upon?
Honestly, I feel like I excelled just being confident in myself. I feel like at the beginning of the year, I was lacking confidence, not knowing if I was gonna play a lot. And as the season went on, I felt like I had a pretty good role in the offense, so my confidence grew. And something I feel like I can work on is probably like pass protection, things like that. Just the small things that people don't really see. Pass protection and just like the mind games of playing with the defense coordinators, like seeing the play before it even happened.
We've talked to a number of North Carolina running backs over the years.
Hey, Greg, I don't know if y'all are hearing it, but your connection's a little.
Yeah, it's going on.
Years ago, Elijah Hood a couple years ago, and they always talked about when they hit. Okay.
Greg, hang tight a second.
All right. How about that? Okay.
Are you back and rolling?
All right. How about that?
Nah, it's kind of robotic.
Okay.
So go ahead and figure that out. We'll come back to you. We'll go over to Andrew. Andrew, go ahead.
Hey, Javonte, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. We had Coach Gillespie on here last week, and he said the moment that he recalls that when he realized that you had taken the next step and you could be a consistent producer at the ACC level was in the South Carolina game last year when you ran over a Gamecock defender, got a first down, and you got up and showed a ton of emotion and the bench kind of exploded. Do you remember that moment? And is that kind of a moment you look back to as sort of a signature time that you realized that you had taken the next step?
Yes, sir. I remember that. Yeah, I feel like that's a time because like I don't really get excited too much when I play. I try to just stay even, and I don't know, something just happened. I just got excited, and I feel like that kind of helped us propel and win the game in the end. Like late, it gave us another jolt of energy, and yeah, I can agree with that. That was a moment when I really felt like I belonged at the ACC level. Yes, sir.
And when you have that kind of moment, how does that kind of help you have a lot more of them more consistently moving forward?
Really, like I said earlier, I think it's just the confidence. Like when I see that my teammates like can celebrate with me and they just behind me, that just gave me like a whole another level of confidence. Like everybody behind me, like it's a team. Like we all good. We believe in you. Just keep going. That's really what helps me throughout the season.
Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Andrew. Go to Jonas. Jonas, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, Javonte, how you doing?
How you doing?
Good, good. You mentioned early in the season you were lacking confidence. Obviously, confidence can build by making plays on the field, but what happened off the field, maybe in practice or in the film room, to kind of contribute to you being more confident about your production on the field?
Yes, sir. Just talks like with Coach G and like Mike. Like Mike is somebody I really look up to. Not just as a player, but as a person. He's always energetic. People can always go to him for advice and things like that. And just watching film with Mike and like Coach G, just showing me like the ins and outs and things like that. And also a player from last year, Javonte Williams. He was real smart, like off the field and on the field. So just being with a group of guys like that support system, it really helped me off the field and just helped my confidence and helped me like learning how to watch film and things like that, and learning how to see the defensive coverages and where the blitz and things is coming from. That really helped me on the field.
Were you lacking confidence a little bit because those guys were ahead of you and had a little bit more experience? Did that kind of contribute to your lack of confidence early?
Yes, sir. That's definitely what it was. Getting behind two older guys, veterans who pretty much know everything that before coach even asked the question, it can shatter your confidence a little bit. But as I continued and seeing things they did to prepare for the games and I started doing it, that just really helped me a lot.
Good, Jonas. Jacob. Jacob, go ahead. There you go.
Hey, what's up, Javonte? What have you been focusing on the most this offseason in terms of your game? What have you been looking to improve the most coming off the last season? I know you were close to 1,000 yards too, but what has kind of been the biggest focus for you this offseason in terms of kind of improving different elements of your game?
The main thing I've been working on is agility and catching the ball. Just running routes with Sam, like off the PLPs and stuff like that. Just trying to catch as many passes as I can. As Coach Longo said, that's going to be an even bigger part of the offense this year, catching the ball out the backfield. Other than that, it's just really agility and speed. I feel like you can't get too fast, so just working on speed at all times is really pivotal.
Are there any personal goals for you this year? I know you guys have like offensive goals, team goals, and all that stuff, but is there anything, is you personally that you're trying to accomplish this upcoming season?
I haven't really thought about it. I'm just trying to win a national championship for real. Yeah.
Thanks, Javonte. Appreciate it, man.
All right, Greg, we'll give it another shot.
For this one, Javonte, where I was going a minute ago was there's been some big backs, big strong backs at UNC over the years, Elijah Hood, Ronnie McGill, who have talked about, when they are able to lay a hit with the ball in their hands, it really gives them a confidence boost, and it really kind of invigorates them and the offense. You get a sense of that because you seem to enjoy making contact and sending guys the other way.
Yeah, I can agree with them. Yeah, it do help you a little bit when you can make the contact before they can. I feel like as long as if you keep doing that and then you bring, like, say somebody like Mike in and he's more shifty, I feel like sooner or later they're just gonna get tired of it and not gonna know how to adjust, and that's when we're gonna start having field it.
And given the quarterback injury issues last year, Mac Brown talked a lot about not being able to run Sam just out of protection reasons. When you add that component to this offense where the quarterback can run and be effective, how does that benefit the running backs?
Oh, I feel like it helps a lot because now they know it's just not gonna be the running back running the ball. They got to watch for the quarterback. So once they start watching for the quarterback, that just leaves less people to try to tackle us, and that's gonna open the run game up even more.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go back to Jonas. Jonas, go ahead.
You're about to enter your third year in the program. What's the biggest difference in you personally and your game from the first day you stepped on campus 2 years ago?
I feel like I'm a lot smarter as a football player. Coming out of high school, I didn't really know much about like defensive fronts and things like that. I just knew to get the ball and run. But now I know things like who you got to watch for on inside zone, what you got to look at on outside zone, like counter, things like that. I feel like I'm just a lot smarter.
What about just personal growth off the field and just as a college student or just a young man, or have you grown from day one until now entering year 3?
The main thing I'd probably say is I'm a lot more independent. Like living on my own. Because my freshman year, like my parents would come up probably twice a week just to check on me, make sure I have food, money, and things like that. But now I feel like they start coming less, and I'm able to live on my own more.
You miss those visits, those twice a week visits?
Yeah, a lot. I miss the money visits.
I appreciate it, man.
We'll slide back to Andrew. Andrew, go ahead.
Hey, Javonte, you mentioned catching passes. Coach Gillespie said last week that that's been one of the points of emphasis for you and Michael and all the backs, that there might be more of that in the offense this year. What do you like about running routes, and how challenging has it been to learn how to run routes the right way as a running back in college?
I wouldn't say it's really challenging because it's pretty much the same as my high school. We used to run not this routes that we're running now, but pretty similar to the routes we're running now. And what I like more about catching the ball at the backfield, you got more space. Because when you run the ball, it's usually in between the tackles, so you got to make somebody miss as soon as you get the ball. But catching the ball out of the backfield is just a lot more open space, and you can do more things with it.
He also said that you guys knowing how to run those routes, catch the ball, and be effective in that part of the offense helps because you guys don't huddle and you do things so quickly because you have to do a lot of different things. Does that make the offense more difficult for opposing teams a skin for when you and Michael and Josh can do all the different things?
Yes, sir. I think so because we got a lot of formations that look exactly the same, but we could run probably like 10 or 15 different plays. So I feel like with us catching the ball at the backfield, it's going to be a lot harder for teams to prepare, and they know that it's not just going to be a run when I come in the game or a pass when Mike come in the game. Like, they have to prepare for both things, so I feel like it'll be a lot harder.
Cool. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else have anything for Javonte? Oh, there we go. Go ahead, Greg.
Javonte, just wanted to ask you about the coronavirus. I know you guys are back on campus now and getting ready to get underway. When you see your cases popping up and increasing the way they have across the entire country, kind of how are you approaching it on a personal level? How are the guys approaching it in terms of, is there concern about whether or not this season will take place as originally scheduled?
Yeah, I always think like it's not really 100% like what's gonna happen, but with coronavirus, I'd rather them happen now than later. Like hopefully everything can just go away, like happen now, and then later by the time the season gets closer, we'll see less cases. But the main thing I'm worried about like is the fans. Like is the stadium gonna be full or things like that. I feel like we'll still play, but it's just like the fans that's gonna be like the biggest problem.
How would that affect the team, and not just your team? I mean, all these teams without having the full capacity crowds that you're accustomed to having.
I feel like it wouldn't be a good thing not having fans. I feel like it'll be definitely a negative. I feel like the fans help us, like especially the home team advantage. But without having the fans, yeah, I feel like that'd be a bad thing.
Thanks.
Go back to Jonas. Jonas, go ahead.
Yeah, I have one more question about you mentioned Mike a lot and learning from Mike and learning from even Antonio last year. At what point did it kind of hit you that, like, I'm friends with these guys, I learn from them, but I also have to compete with them, and we got to compete in practice for those reps? Like, so at what point did you realize that was the key to getting more confidence and more playing time? And what's that competition like in practice with Mike and some other guys?
Oh yeah, I knew that from day one. Pretty much day one coming on campus. That's probably why I was so shook like with my confidence, because I was like, dang, I'm so far behind. Like I'm never gonna get a chance to play. But at some point you just gotta man up and just do what you gotta do. Like we all friends, but at the same time we all trying to get to a destination. So I mean, it's nothing like on a personal level, but we all know what we came here for. It's not just to be friends. We all trying to get to the next level. So you gotta do what you gotta do.
And how much do you guys kind of push each other? Like, how much does he push you, knowing how talented he is? He's behind you in those reps. How much does he push you to kind of work harder and go harder in practice?
Yeah, actually me and Mike, we never tell each other like the good things we do. We always on each other like the bad things. We just pretty much say like, let our parents tell us like, oh, you doing good, you doing this. Like me and Mike, we never say good job to each other, things like that. We always saying what we could have did better. We know it's nothing personal. We just trying to make each other better because we know we're trying to go.
What's been Mike's biggest critique of you at practice in your last couple of years?
Something he always saying, he just say stay low. Like he say, like if I play too high, I'm playing like a smaller back. He was like, I'm too strong to play up high. He was like, so just stay low and I'll break even more tackles.
All right. Anything else for Javonte? We got a hand raise there. I see Elite Sport News. I don't see a name, but more than welcome to ask. So go ahead.
So my name's Adam Chakosky. Austin McFadden asked me to be here for him.
Sure. Hi, Adam. Welcome.
Hey, thank you. So Javonte, it's no surprise to anyone that like UNC football's on the up and up, and I don't think it shock anyone who's paying attention if you guys are in the championship with Clemson next year. But how does that affect you as a player that you had this breakout season? Sam had to balled out at quarterback. And you have all this talent coming in over the next couple of years. Does that excite you as a player and get you more prepared and ready to play football?
Yes, sir. It excites me a lot. And just coming with all the hype, I just know we got to be able to back it up. Because if we come out like lose by like 30 or something the first game, all that hype going to go out the window. So I know like teams preparing to knock us off. If we on the rise, teams want to knock us off even more. So I know we just got to prepare even harder every day. and just push each other. And I feel like we could really do something special this year.
Good. Javonte, you want to tell them about what you picked up this summer, or do we want to save that for later?
Oh no, that's a surprise. We can say that for later.
Okay. All right. We'll let Javonte break that. He's got a little fun nugget for you, but we'll save that for down the road. So,
Yeah.